Hey guys, it's Nina, and today I'm going to be bringing you my January wrap-up and February TBR. Now I know I don't usually do TBR videos, but I actually know at least 2 books that I'm definitely going to be reading next month, so I decided why not include them, because one of them I should be talking about anyway. So yes, let's get started. The first book that I finished in January was The Crowns Game by Evelyn Skye. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and this was actually our Biblio Squad book pick of the month for the month of December. So if you aren't aware, the Biblio Squad is a book club that I help host with 3 other lovely booktubers, and they are Grace over at G Swizzle Books, Kathleen over at For the Love of Books, and Jules at Jules Reads. All of their channels will be linked down below, as well as all the information you need to know to join the Biblio Squad, because it's an awesome monthly book club that you should all check out. So as I said, really enjoyed this book. Our plot follows 2 main characters, Nikolai and Vika, and they are both enchanters, so they have magical powers, and there is this thing called the Crowns Game that they have to compete in, and one person will win and be the imperial enchanter for the Tsar, and the other person has to die. So you're following these 2 main characters who are both sorcerers, and you have to choose one and who you're gonna root for, and I just think that pitting of 2 people against each other was so engaging, and Evelyn Skye did an amazing job with it. Although I did predict 1 or 2 things that were going to happen at the end, I think overall I really liked some of the plot twists that happened, and I really liked how the plot fleshed out. And going hand in hand with that, I really liked the characters, because this is a book where in order to be sold on this plot, you have to like both of the characters, because by nature you're supposed to be rooting for one or the other to win and thus not die. But when I was reading this, I kept going back and forth as to who I would want to root for and who I wanted to win, and eventually I chose a side, but it was really hard, and I just really liked both of the characters, and a lot of the side characters were great as well. I also really enjoyed the setting of this book. I think Imperial Russia is just a really great time period for this to be set, and just everything about the culture and all the little tidbits of information that we got in this book I think really enhanced it and really set the scene in a really nice way. And Evelyn Skye did a really great job of fleshing out the world and really explaining not only how things looked, but also the little cultural things about what living in St. Petersburg would be like, and I just really liked how that fleshed out the world and it made it more realistic and submersive, I guess. The next book that I finished in January was also a Biblio Squad pick, and that was Children of Eden by Joey Graceffa. If you guys aren't aware for some reason, Joey Graceffa is a YouTuber, a huge YouTuber slash one of the most successful YouTubers that there are. And this is a dystopian where our main character is a second child. So this is in the future where they're trying to control the population, and so every family can only have 1 child, and so she was born second, and thus her existence is illegal. So she lives her entire life within her house and isn't allowed to leave until of course she does, and thus the plot continues. But this book was a disappointment, I must say. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. This book had a really great potential. The plot sounded really engaging, but I think at the end of the day, the writing wasn't good enough. I just found it really choppy, and this book was a lot shorter than it should have been. This is only about 300 pages when it could have been 400 or 500, because there were a lot of points in the book where the author would skim over a lot of things instead of fleshing it out with dialogue, and I just think there were a lot of things that need to be fleshed out. There was a lot of info dumping, and there was also a lot of insta-love, which I'm not a fan of. So overall, I think this would make like a good movie slash screenplay, but just in book form, it didn't click for me. And the last book that I finished in January was Yes Please by Amy Poehler, and I loved this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and I actually listened to this as an audiobook. So if you end up reading this book, I highly, highly, highly recommend listening to it as an audiobook, because I am pretty much 100% confident that I would not have liked this book as much if I hadn't listened to the audiobook, because Amy Poehler narrates it herself, and since she is a comedian by trade, she's very good at reading her lines in the most funny way possible. And also she had a lot of guest stars in her book, so Seth Meyers read some chapters, her parents read some parts, and some other people came on, and it was just a really great experience to listen to. So things that I liked about this book, obviously the performance, which I've already mentioned, but also the content was great. I think Amy Poehler is hilarious, but also is very real. This book was just really refreshing, especially a lot of the life advice that she gave. And you know, that's kind of why you pick these books up. It's for the life advice, and I think hers was like right on. Also, can we take a moment, because the very first chapter of this book, or like the introduction, is all about how much she hated writing this book, which I just think is the most hilarious and refreshing thing ever, and also kind of relatable because she summed up a lot of the writing process for me and it was just so great. I respect you, Amy Poehler, and please pick this audiobook up. Please just do it. So now on to my TBR for February. The book that I am currently reading and thus definitely going to finish in February is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Hammer of Thor, which is the second book in this series by Rick Riordan, and I am almost done with this. I have about 100 pages left and I am really enjoying this. I would definitely say I like this more than the first one, and that's about all that I'm gonna say about it for now, because spoilers. You guys gotta wait until my wrap up and then you will know all of my thoughts. But you can just know that I'm really enjoying this book and I'm probably gonna finish it this weekend. More accurately, I will probably finish this before I edit and upload this video. So I'm done with it by now. And then the next book that I'm definitely going to read this month is our Biblio Squad book pick of the month for the month of February, and that is going to be Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I know a little bit about this book. I know that it's being compared to The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern a lot, and that is because it is something to do with like a carnival or a circus or something that is like really unusual, and there's these two sisters and they really want to go see it, and that's like the extent of my knowledge. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to have a better description than that, but I know it's similar to The Night Circus and it's been getting a lot of hype. It just came out, it just actually came in the mail this morning, which makes me really happy. If you are interested, our live show for this is going to be on March 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is a Saturday in the US, and I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but our discussions are always awesome, and again, you should join the Biblio Squad. So that is all I have to talk about today. Let me know down below what you guys have been reading recently and enjoying. And that is it. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe, and I will see you guys later with another video. Bye!